Happy Wednesday. Hold up. All right. Here we go. What up, guys? Let me get some energy in here, man. It's quiet. It's quiet over here. What's up? Feeling blessed. All right. Let's go. There we go. All right. So, hello everyone. It's been a few weeks since we've all been here together on the Zoom call, hosting these sessions with y'all outside of our normal hours. So what's up? How y'all been? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. Got a lot to cover today. I'm excited. I'm very excited to be here with all of you. There's quite a bit that we're going to go over. So, we have some currency pairs, we have some metals, we got maybe a little crypto, we even have some stocks. We even have some stocks today. So I'm going to go over quite a few things. I'm going to be picking some markups from y'all as well, and breaking those down on top of everything. So we have a lot to cover today. I'm excited. It's the day before Thanksgiving here in the US. So people already, kind of usually start to take time off, spend time with their family and things like that, which is totally amazing. But I am going to be going over a couple of things for those of you that are putting in those extra hours to lock in before some gratitude. And I know everyone here has some gratitude every day, but we're here. And I want to get a little overtime. Think about this as overtime with y'all, with the squad. And as well, like if anybody wants to hop on with me and go live here with me, then this is wide open. So I do want to leave it up so that you can be interactive. If you want to go over in your own chart and you want me to give you feedback, then most definitely feel free. So I see that we got Brazil here plugged in today, which is amazing. We got Seattle out here. All right, cool. We have South America here. It's a pleasure. Skater vibe strong today. Yo, it's cold out here now in Chicago. It's getting a little cold. We got Toronto, Canada, looks like New York, Guatemala, Arkansas, Colombia. It's supposed to snow tomorrow, I guess, here in Chicago, El Salvador, Peru. All right, so guys, let's dive into this. I'm not going to take too much time here. If you want to actually share this space with me and you want to break down your chart and you want me to give you feedback on what you're seeing, then just go ahead and drop your link here. Meanwhile, I'm going to be breaking down what I expect from the market, some of the things that I think we can see, whether it's tonight, Thursday, Friday, and maybe even next week. So let's dive in here. Let's start diving through. So to start today's session, I love to start with what we have going on in the week. Now the news doesn't dictate what happens in the market, but it does give us a good idea of what we can expect, of when we can expect things to happen during the week, and how we can prepare for everything that's coming. So today, today we had two separate USD news events that set up the market really well. We had a little bit of Canadian news as well, but for what's coming here, we do have Euro news back to back and some pound news tonight as well. Tomorrow should be a slow day in the market for USD. Indices probably won't do anything at all. I'm currently in a NASDAQ sell, which I'll go over how we found that trade as well. And then for Friday, we have a little bit of dollar news to close out the week. And obviously, that there will be a little bit of indices volatility, as well as there is most days around New York Open. So we'll dive into that. Now, next week, things do get a little interesting as we have Australian news to work out to start out the session. Tuesday, we have dollar news, Australian news, and two sets of New Zealand news. Wednesday, Euro back-to-back USD news. Thursday, some more dollar news. with unemployment claims. Those can be nice. Those can be a nice little, some nice little movement. And then next Friday as well, we have Powell speaking. So next week will be fun as well. So the second half of the week, I think we have a bit more movement, but I mean, the market's cooking nice. Like we have a lot setting up. You know, we had FOMC meeting minutes on Tuesday this week, which is a little unusual, but that is how it played out due to it being a holiday week. So it is what it is. Now here, I know more than anything, what I do love to do with these specific sessions is get your charts, and for me to give you feedback on anything that you see anywhere in the market. And I'm going to dive into quite a bit that I have in store for us. Now, the next high impact news is the euro. And I intentionally haven't looked at any euro pairs so that we can kind of discover what's going on in the market here together. And so let's dive in it and see what we see. Now, I have a question for y'all, and actually, I don't know what this is on my chart right now. What even are these dots? I've never seen this in my life. Hold on. I think these are just random people's trade ideas. I think that's what I'm looking at here. Don't care for that. Okay, perfect. So euro. Now let me ask you a question. How many of you, and let me know here in the chat, in the comments, how many of you trade London session? How many of you will actively looking at the market later here? If you're in the US, right, this is happening like 2, 3 a.m. Some of you might be in Europe. So how many of you trade London? And then we have pound news as well at 3:30 a.m. Central Time. Sometimes, some of y'all, a few of you, okay. Some of you trade London. I feel like I know people here who are trading in California tend to have that schedule as well. So cool. Now, those of you, I know, you know, some of you in the chat were like, yo, we missed you all of last week. And I'll be honest, knowing when to trade and when not to is a really, really important aspect in the career. And most of the time I travel, I'm not really, it's not really hard to be able to handle trading, marking up, traveling, you know, hosting seminars or, you know, events and things like that. But it definitely was difficult to do that in, you know, Qatar and in Kazakhstan, where we're like 10, 12 hours ahead of the normal schedule, plus the flying and things like that. So one of the things that I do want to add is when you're trading and you have multiple things going on in your lives, you know, you may have a job, you may have other responsibilities, you may have children, you might have, you know, just a million things going on. One of the most important things to remember is how much focus and concentration you can give to something. And with trading, you remember, you are putting money on the line. So if you can't give it your focus, if you're not able to manage the trade, right? So if you're not able to follow your plan to a T because you have your attention in other places, so it's not even just the time, but your attention, then you're going to make mistakes that could really damage your equity curve. And sometimes not trading is the best thing you can do. So it was an unusual week for me last week with very, very little amount of trading, but I would say that it actually might be more beneficial to stay off the market sometimes, because when you want to force things and you're juggling too much, you know, you'll start to drop the ball. So last week, you know, I was willing to, you know, not get as much from the market, but at the same time, I didn't hurt myself trading. And that's a big part of what you want to be able to do is sometimes it's okay to, you could even call it leave money on the table for the sake of not overdoing it. And so there was plenty of setups like this one here that we were looking at, and I was waiting for EURAUD, you know, and EURNZD, something very similar, where the price here we had something like this set up, where we had a big push to the upside here. This move to the upside, this took care of a lot of retail sellers before the market left a huge imbalance and gave us lower lows. You know, we saw that shift in momentum in the market where we had higher highs, higher lows. And we saw this high here fail. This is a failed higher high here. And the intention behind a move like this is to just get money out of the market. A move like this is to lure in retail buyers, eliminate retail sellers, and then drop. And here's where we did see a lower low instead of seeing a higher low. And so once we saw something like this, you know, I was expecting for us to be able to sell in the zone. Would I have even gotten into this sell? Probably not. I think I would have taken a sell a little bit higher. But this is a good example of something that went down and I wasn't able to manage or really even focus in on. But the good thing is now, right now that we're here present, we can take a look at different things and able to trade. And you can't trade everything. I'll tell you right now, if you want to try to trade everything, it's going to be tough. You need sleep at some point in time. You need some sleep. And I remember when I started trading in my first like 9 months, eventually I had kind of like a trading partner in my same city. I don't know about y'all, but I had a trading partner, but we were in different parts of the world at first. And it wasn't until about, I think like 6 months in, that someone in my local area also was as obsessed and hungry to learn about trading and everything. And he would come over to my apartment. And now this is, 2015, 2016. So it was kind of a different era. I would say a more more juvenile like era as traders, and we just felt like we needed to always be looking at the market. Like you couldn't like sleep with one eye open. And my boy, his name's Austin. What we would do is we would take turns looking at the market. So if I was getting tired, and at this time I had basically access to unlimited Red Bull, but I was getting tired and I would go to I'd fall asleep for like an hour and a half, and it would be his shift to look at the markets and make sure we didn't miss a move. And if it seemed like a setup was happening, which we didn't really even know what that even meant, but if we felt like, oh, okay, like whatever trading strategy we had at the time was happening, like he'd wake me up and like, yo, GJ is at this fib level or something. And so, yeah, we would do that. And we did that for months. And so we got terrible quality sleep for a long time. And we were just like on so much Red Bull. It was nuts. But anyways, you don't have to do that. This is what I'm getting at. You do not have to do that. So we have Euro news here coming up in a few hours. As you can see, 2:15 and 2:30, you have two separate sets of news and then pound news. So we'll kick things off with Euro news here, and we're only about 6 hours away from news, give or take. So right now, as I'm looking into what we can expect, the first thing that we're always looking for, guys, remember, is we want to know where is retail money and where is smart money, right? Where is money that orchestrates these markets? Like, where are they set in stone? Is there something that we should be looking for right now? And so as I look at the market here and we're looking at price action, I'm looking at this and I'm not really seeing, specifically with Euro AUD, I'm not really seeing much, right? We kind of have equal highs over here. So by nature, we can definitely see money come up into the zone and even higher to take out these equal highs. And then we do have this basically the same thing happening in the zone as well. So there isn't any substantial movement that, you know, we can kind of see that leaves a big, a lot of money behind. Now, I know we have this massive imbalance right here. So if you're looking and you're following along with EURAUD, you do see price drop aggressively down here. And this is an imbalance, 100%. But this doesn't really leave a big buy position open, right? This just leaves equal highs behind. So could the market come up here and drop? Maybe. But remember, one of the things that we're always looking for is an exchange of money. So we may be seeing a different pair setting up a bit cleaner. So why do you mark it as equal high at the top? The wick swept it, or do you want a candle closure above the high? Sorry, first time on your call, bro. So, I mean, what you call like, so, okay. Is this 3 pip movement really a sweep above these highs? Because you have to think in terms of narrative, right? You have to think in terms of incentive. Is this move, I mean, 3 pips? Is that really anything significant? Not really. For example, here, this is a better example of liquidity being swept, is this move here. Right here, for example, you do see the market drop about 25 pips, right? You had equal lows, so you have liquidity building up right there. And this is a better example of seeing liquidity being swept. Or we can zoom out a little bit and we can look at a different example. Here, for example, price here runs and you see a intentional move about 50 pips, a very intentional move there. So you don't really see much happen here. There's nothing that you could say, oh, this definitely liquidated stop losses at these highs. Not really. So, right, it's a much more intentional, much more decisive movement. This doesn't really take care of much money. Now, we may see something here somewhere else. So when you do see something like this, because it kind of looks like it almost should have made a bigger move, right, guys? Like you see how it almost seems like it should have taken these highs a little bit higher, because you then saw imbalance and then you saw price go even lower, but we didn't. And so when I see something like that, this is kind of signaling, okay, well, maybe EURNZD, since EURNZD and EURAUD, those are correlating pairs, or maybe GBPAUD, maybe that spiked a bit higher, really took care of retail orders here, and then made the lows. So we can go and kind of keep our eyes open. It should be signaling you something. So amazing question, guys. Definitely feel free to send more of those. That's what we want. We want to create clarity for everybody. So EURAUD, not quite there yet. We do see this clear these lows, and it pulls back and kind of chops up here before it's coming down again. This may or may not, I like to call this a shakeout setup. This may or may not be setting up so that this can then rally again, because it's almost like some of these break and retest setups, these are usually fail. So this almost wants to lure in, you know, those sell stops and then, oh, break and retest and then continue. That's like the idea that they want to sell you. And from here, it actually could reverse. I'm not totally sold on this. We're still like 6 hours away from that volatility. So I'm not quite ready to see a setup like that. I'd rather take mitigation entries. So we'll wait, we'll be patient. So EURCAD, okay. So, okay, let's look at the timing. Remember, this move here was around London session, like the previous London session, where we see price go up a bit before it drops. Now, if we look at EURCAD, okay, we saw this range, and then what did we see? During New York session, we do see EURCAD clear these highs, and then now give us lower lows. So EURCAD is a little bit of a different story. This is a better example of highs being rated for us to then get lower lows. Can you guys see the difference? Can you see the difference in price action? EURAUD here, we see price go up. Basically, doesn't really do anything significant above the high. And then when we come and look at EURCAD, this looks very much different. Here, yes, we do have these equal highs, and you can definitely see how price here makes a run for it, clears these highs, and then gives us lows. And not only does it make lower lows, but price stays below the previous low. So we can see this more clearly. Here you can see price really starts to make a move here. And I can actually get a bit more. There we go, right there. You see equal highs, equal highs, equal highs, building up retail sellers. And then right here, you see price really take it up a notch before the market just works its way down and gives us lows. So EURCAD, much better example of consolidation, this distribution happening here. Clearly, we can see these highs get swept before the market leaves us behind. So this is a good example of a selling opportunity here. And EC had a more aggressive sweep. Exactly. So you can just see it's a lot more equality with a setup like this. And then, okay, we see here, let's zoom out a little bit and kind of get a better understanding and better look of where are we in the market here. You guys remember this buy from EURCAD from a couple weeks back. We actually did end up taking a good entry zone here, and this ended up running about a 25-to-1 setup. This one missed my entry by I think it was maybe 2 pips or so. So it is what it is, you know, nothing we can do there. And so if we zoom out and we get a good idea of where the market is in this entire range, like we're in a nice daily run. So from September, price has just been booming. And we've seen this thing run almost 900 pips within almost 2 months. 900 pips, that's a good push. And we just filled this imbalance from the daily from May as well. So for us to start to see maybe some distribution in the zone, yeah, we might be seeing the beginning of a nice little reversal here and work our way back down. So do I necessarily need to swing trade this right now? Maybe not, but is it in a zone that's pretty valid for that to happen? Yes, right? We can see that we are near highs that we've been in for the year, right? We haven't been at these price levels since April. And then before that, price hadn't been sitting up here since September of 2021. So in terms of swing trading something, it's in a pretty valid area for something to turn around. And especially considering just this range that we're in since September, we could be looking at something pretty significant. So that's why we like to either, you know, start from the very, very top, monthly, weekly, daily, and just kind of get a good idea of where you're at in the market and then work your way down. Or, you know, sure, you may have an entry that you find, and then you want to just do your due diligence and see where you're at in the overall market. Because now, for example, we take a look at something like this, and I mean, the highs that we just saw, we're really only right now about 130 pips away from that, from the relative highs that we've seen for the last few months. And so by the time price gets over here, I mean, we're basically, market's been clean price action now up until here. So this could be ready for quite the drop. And if you look at how aggressively this has been pushing up, I mean, you can see it, like this has just been trending. This has just been trending aggressive, like pretty aggressively. And you can tell by just how inclined the bullish push is, right? Usually the market's a bit more choppy. This has been pretty aggressive on the run up, and we can see some imbalance all the way down here. You have a very, very huge drop that happened in September before it just as quick of a rally. So when I'm looking at, okay, where do we still have some massive sell positions open? There's definitely some big orders left behind over here from a few months back that I do think the market was going to want to take care of at some point in time. And so I look at this, I think we have positions open all the way down here. And I do think we are in a good place for the market to turn around on a major scale. So would I be okay with swinging this trade all the way down over here? I would be okay with taking a percentage of my trade all the way down here. I think it could be worth holding for some time. So easy to feel FOMO when you're missing out on buys and taking sells and getting hit with stop losses on a chart like this. Yeah, these are the kind of setups where it's moving up so aggressively that you kind of keep selling it and keep selling it and keep selling it. And then, you know, all of a sudden it's like, how many times do you want to take a swing at this? But the reason that, you know, I'm looking to sell this pair for the first time here instead of buying is because we've now taken care of daily imbalances that have been here since May of 2023. So now we have finally given and recovered filled price action that was sitting here for the majority of the year. So now that that's happened, okay, now we can be looking for the market to, you know, decompress a little bit, work its way back. And it could take weeks. You know, we saw September to now, this was about 56 days. So for price to come back to this level, it could take a while, right? I don't necessarily know. And so you can always look at swaps on your MT4, MT5, right? You can look at the details on there and you can kind of see if you're going to get paid or if you're going to be paying all of the time with you holding these setups. Usually they end honestly with the swing trade, especially if you're holding it for some weeks. Since it alternates, whether a swap is paying you or you're paying, you know, you're paying the broker, it'll switch up. So usually it's not too big of a hit. So yeah, I've never really had an issue where it was just such a massive chunk that the swap is taking from the trade. Like I haven't really experienced something where it's like not really worth it anymore. But, you know, always just take a look at that. You can do the math with all that good stuff. But anyways, so with something like this, I do think that we can actually swing this. You don't have to swing the entire position. So you can lock in some, you know, some of your entry. That way you just pay yourself. And then if with such a big swing like this, you can definitely let this one ride for a while and it should take care of itself. So something like this, I mean, this is to me about an 18 pip stop loss. And I like where we can take this. So for now, if you see the way the market's working its way down, you know, you saw the way it chopped up and down and up and down. Right now here with this wick that we saw from this New York session, this came up to fill some imbalance, gave us lower lows again. So price action is playing out of the zone really well. And taking this down to here, when you look at this, guys, and you see this zone, like this chart overall, what exit levels are attracted to you? You know, are you looking for 2-to-1 exits? Are you looking to take this to where we kind of saw these? I would still consider these equal lows over here. Is this where you would target? I'm just curious to see what you guys have in mind. You know, do you want to use Fibonacci for an exit with something like this? So the better probable setup that you could approach with something like this would be to exit within the range. Now, why would that be the best thing for someone to do in this case? Well, if you're not taking this trade to a new structure, right, to a new high or to a new low, then sometimes what happens is you have a good entry, the market reverses, and then it trades inside of the range that it's in. So something like maybe like a 2.5 to 1. This seems very doable. And this is with you not even like having because this could just go to here and then just keep going up. We don't know. We don't know. We really don't. We have an idea. We have like what we would want to happen, but we don't know. So an exit inside of the range is at least you locking in something, and it's a high probability exit. Right? I like these equal lows as an initial target. I think these are really probable, but exiting within the range gives you wiggle room so that you might not even, so where you can get out of the market and this could still reverse. And even if you didn't have a long-term directionally correct, cool, you still got out within a good place. So this, I think, is a great high probability exit. So this would be the first place to take an exit here. I like this as exit 1. If you're intraday, if you're just, in and out kind of situation, I think this is a great place. Now, like I said before, I like this for a swing trade. And so this, again, this could take a couple months. And this I would take all the way down to here to 1.43. And this would be a 37 to 1 setup. This does require a lot of patience. A lot of patience. So if you have the patience, then this is the swing trade. We may even call this a position trade at this point. So exit 2. I don't swing trade everything by any means. All right, not something I'm looking to do. So this just happened to be in a, basically 900 pip zone, and we're at the peak of that, where it also is at a key level here on a daily. So that's why I'm looking to position myself like that with this setup. So something like this, I like, and I'm going to send you guys 2 charts, right? One that's more so focused on the entry here. So here is EURCAD. EURCAD. There's chart 1. And then here is chart 2. Yeah. And EURCAD for that. Yeah. There you have that. And let me I want to keep these documented too. So let me just write these down over here. All right. So there's the first one. First of May. Now, EURCAD looks good. What do you guys think? You like the setup? Would you take the setup? Do you like something else? I am getting requests to look at gold. Few requests to look at gold. So we'll look at that soon. So there's EURCAD, EURCHF here. The market looks choppy. I don't really see anything that piques my interest too much. We did see price spike low here. So this does sweep quite a bit of money before it recovers. We have some sideways movement. I definitely can agree that we have some liquidity building up here with EURCHF. So there is money here, these equal lows building up quite a bit. So maybe we see something play off of here. Not my favorite right now, so I'm not really going to focus on this too much. EURGBP. Looking at this here. We also have pound news, so that's another thing. But nothing too much that I'm really crazy into. Yeah, nothing that speaks to me here. I don't really see anything too significant. I think this is ranging a bit more. We may have pound news or euro news clean this chart up a little bit, and it might set up for something later. But right now, not my favorite. We do see price come down a little bit here, and it briefly gives us a higher high, but it just quickly comes back down. So nothing too clear for me, not enough for me to take. EURJPY. Okay. EURJPY has some interesting movement. This is from Sunday. So on Sunday, and this is like basically the weekly open. We see the market open and we see it drop before just a pretty big push up here. So the market really starts to make its way higher and higher and higher. Here, it kind of sits right at resistance. And then for 15 minutes, you see pops up above these highs before it just drops and keeps dropping. And so this kind of makes that weekly high here. What I don't like about this is it left this behind them. So yes, we do see this go above, and this takes care of the money that was set up here, but it leaves this over here. Like price could have gone above this and taken care of resistance and this liquidity here. It doesn't. It kind of just leaves it there before dropping again. So I mean, yeah, I mean, we could see price reverse from here. But this just leaves it as well. Like, not my favorite. And one of the things that you'll notice, especially just watching me mark up, take trades, not take trades, when I don't feel like I have enough clarity, or if I feel like there's liquidity too close to that setup, I'm okay with just leaving it behind. Like, I'm very okay with just leaving money, you know, potential setup here on the table. I don't need to be in everything. And so even though, yes, this clears out some of these equal highs, it's so close to the next one that I wouldn't be totally shocked if this doesn't hold and price just goes above this as well, especially because there's more imbalance. So I'm okay with kind of just staying out and letting EURJPY do its thing. This could be one of those ideas that it worked out and I missed, whatever. Like that's cool. And then we have EURNZD. So remember how we talked about EURAUD and EURNZD, right? So EURNZD gave some move up here, chopped away quite a bit. So why don't we compare EURAUD and EURNZD? Let's split this chart real quick just to see the difference between the two, because these are correlated pairs. And let's see if there's anything worth taking. And as we look at both of these, I do see something interesting. So you can see EURNZD right here. EURNZD makes a huge move up here. Huge gap. Clears out a lot of these retail sellers, fills in balance, and then comes crashing down. we didn't really see the EURAUD make the same kind of move. Not as aggressive. Plus, this then just kept ranging while EURNZD definitely clearly made lower lows. So I do think that EURNZD is just by nature a bit more bearish. We don't have the same type of movement here, but I think we could see EURNZD over here eventually. Maybe this might be something for next week. So something to focus on. I'm gonna set an alert here, and I will send this in because EURAUD already, played out of this price action. This came down and started traded over here. EURNZD it has left this huge candle behind. I don't think that's worth ignoring. I think we should definitely keep that here in mind. So EURNZD, something to pay attention to over here. And then where would I be selling if this were to get into the zone? Probably somewhere over here. See a little bit of an imbalance. So I'd probably take the sell in here somewhere. The EURNZD, I don't know if this is going to happen for this week. Probably not. We have one more batch of Euro news, and then we'll see NZD news next week. So next Tuesday, you'll see more NZD news, more Euro news. So maybe next week might be when this plays out. But worth having an alert as well. Plus, you guys have what's it called? TradingView, right? TradingView has their deal. So if you don't have any alerts, this is probably the best time in the year for you to get set up with them. No affiliate here. It just makes a lot of sense. You can save a ton of money. So EURNZD, I like the setup. EURNZD. Now, for those of you that are going to want to study this session again and go through it, I'll be posting this on my YouTube, so you can just watch it there. And then obviously I'm going to go through these setups on Go Live throughout the next couple of days, and then obviously I'm live every morning, so you guys can plug in there. EURUSD, not a fan of anything right now. I am kind of surprised that this held. So we did go over this. I saw this yesterday. Saw it happening this morning as well. I actually thought this was going to go lower because EURUSD was it approached these lows first. So if you compare all of the dollar pairs that had a kind of a similar structure, EURUSD was the first one to get this low. So it was the most bearish in the movement. And so I was like, you know what? I think this is going to just keep going through. There's a chance that happens because you had, EU, GU, AU, NU, gold, they had all of these different setups, and they were still trading up here while EU was just like dropping. So played out, closed off the sell position that I had opened, and it mitigated. So cool. Now, I wouldn't have been positioned into this anyways. I would have taken a trade lower. So can't even say like, oh, I missed, man. I wouldn't have just gotten in. I would have missed my zone anyways. But there you have it. Not my trade to take in the first place. Now here, you have EU that did push up, cleared out some sellers, comes down. However, these lows, they don't really last. Right, price goes below this previous low, but it's not really to give you lower lows. Right, remember, always you have to read the narrative. You have to see through what's showing here. And this is not meant to be, for continued lows. This dropped just to clear out any buyers, to lure in sellers, and now we're seeing a recovery. So by no means am I looking for any buy positions with EURUSD. And that brings us back to EURAUD. So for the Euro, The key setups that I like: EURAUD, EURCAD, and actually, my bad, not EURAUD, EUROCAD and EURNZD. Right? Those are the two key setups that I like. Now we can look at pound, GBP, all the pound pairs, because we do have those setting up as well. And then we'll wrap up there. Actually, pause. Let me look at metals with y'all before someone chops my head off, because then y'all been here. Y'all been in this chat. Like, let me see some metals, Mike. Don't do me like that. Been here. I waited my time. Okay, gold and silver, my favorites. Now, I've been trading silver heavy. Y'all know silver has been the breakout star of the year. For me, it has been silver. However, I'm not going to just trade silver. Did I go over indices? I didn't yet. Oh, y'all really want me here for a long time, huh? Y'all got to do that to me, huh? I'll say this. I don't really think we need to go over indices, because tomorrow should be slow anyways. We missed you, bro. Oh, are you saying I got to make up for lost time? Are you gaslighting me right now? So, all right. So look, we have bullish structure. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So cool. We've been bullish. Okay. Gold is clean structure. Clean. Now, near these lows, we do see price make a nice low drop, feel some imbalance. This is such a clean setup. For those of you that follow metals like that, this was a good play. Sweeps these lows, gives us highs, leaves imbalance behind, comes back for this, taps into the zone, mitigates the sell position, opens up the buys, and just runs. This was such a clean setup. You guys know to take this one right here. This one has been, this is just textbook. 40 pip stop, no problem. Take this to at least equal highs, almost a 5-to-1 just on that. Extend it to higher highs over 7-to-1. You know, in a perfect world exit, you know, you get like a 10-to-1. But this is good. Like, a lot of you know, a lot of you have been trading now with me to take this to at least a year, 4.75 risk reward, take it and run. That was a good quality setup. Here, again, we have bullish structure, higher highs. Things are looking good. And if you compare this to silver, the structure is a lot cleaner with gold right now, right? If you look at silver, the previous high is all the way over here. So silver right now is kind of in like indecisive price action, whereas with metals, it's clean. It's very clean. Now, we do see this swipe these lows, fill imbalance before making the high. And as you can see in the zone, I do have where it says pay attention to DXY liquidity before entering here. So if price gets to this area down here, I do want us to have the DXY in mind, because the DXY has a lot of liquidity here right now. So over here, there's equal highs. And so I would want to see the market clear out these highs when, or if, I guess, gold gets to this area. So keep that in mind. I like the setup on gold. It looks clean. I'm going to share this here, but it is important to recognize that gold might have, right? Gold has some correlations, and DXY may be one of them, because that will influence the dollar. So something to keep in mind there. So this is the third setup. should be gold. Wanted to do a quick interruption here before we go and do a hyper run, a quick run through the pound pairs, because that will be setting up today. And I do want to leave you guys set up for success here with pound, with GBP. Now, remember how we looked at EURAUD, right? And EURAUD wasn't, that push up wasn't as clean. All right, let's look at this. Okay, well, let's compare the two. You have EURAUD and you have GBPAUD. So EURAUD, this goes here, it barely cracks these highs, a couple pips, whereas GBPAUD still only goes about 6 pips above. So with, you do see this clear these highs and then start to work its way lower a bit, but not my favorite. This takes a few hours. This does take care of all of these retail sellers for sure, and then starts to make its lows, but it's just not as textbook. It's not as clean. And we have all of this mess to deal with over here as well. Look at all this. Look at how much just retail buyers are in the game here from this trend line. So I think we can get down here again, but I'm just not so sure on if we're going to hold this down really well. Because you do see a push up before it drops. So maybe. And I would compare the two. It looks like this would clear those highs first. So if you compare where they're moving, EURAUD's already up here and GA is barely starting to kind of reverse while EURAUD is already on its way. So could this work out for GBPAUD? I think it's a possibility, but these just aren't moving as nicely as I think other setups could. And that's the best part, is you can always, you have a standard for your setups. And for me, it's not really it. All right, so that's GBP, AUD. Now, just like how we liked EURCAD, we looked at EURCAD and how it cleared the highs, made lower low. And when we look at GBPCAD here, it's pretty similar. All right, pretty similar movements. You saw this run make a clean sweep of the highs here. And then make the push down. So something like this looks very good. Looks very good. And so how do you know which one to take? Right? Do you sell EURCAD? Or do you sell GBPCAD? What's it going to be? Personally, I would be more willing to sell whichever gets to the zone last. Someone say both. I probably wouldn't sell both. I would wait and see, okay, which one gets to this point of interest last? That's the one that's more likely to hold the structure and make its way. So, because you have, just like EURCAD has been just running. Well, so did GBPCAD. Saying very similarly, about 860 pips that this recovered. So for this to work its way back down, again, very, very, very similar price action. Very similar price action. All right, we are looking at the highs for the last 2 months or so. And right now we do see a very open position here. So GBPCAD as well, something that I like. It's got good opportunities for sells here. I think the risk to reward is probably a bit better with EURCAD, if I'm not mistaken. But I do feel like to I feel like we may get to GBPCAD a little bit, like to this point of interest after EURCAD. So we may end up, I may end up taking a sell on GBPCAD instead of EURCAD. And so with that being said, let me see here. Something like this. And then this thing might run. So let me give you the entry first of what I like for some short-term intraday setups. And then let me also take this to where I think we can get to as well over here. They're really similar. Like these are really, really similar. Yeah. So here's GBPCAD on the 1 hour. And then we have GBPCAD 4 hour. It's the exact same chart. 1 second. 4 hour. Actually, I'm gonna even go daily on this one. And again, the reason I like this setup here, this is just, there's so much money sitting here. I think we go for this. And we work our way all the way down here. This is the position, the swing trade. All right, so here you have it. Yeah, GCAD. Here we already went over Euro, GBP, GA, GBPCHF. We did just see this spike like crazy. I don't know if this actually happened in other pairs. It didn't. So, okay. When you see, because I've seen this happen and this kind of fools people. If you see like a huge spike around a new trading day, so when we go from New York session to Asian session, look at different data feeds. So for example, GBPCHF here with Owanda, this like has a massive spike up here and then comes right back down. And then I go look at this with just like anywhere else. This like didn't happen anywhere else. So just always cross-reference that when you see like a huge spike somewhere, that was just a data feed, just wilding out. So yeah, GBPCHF, choppy around, nothing to see here. GBPJPY, kind of liquidity. What's really cool, guys, and I'm super stoked about this one. A little upset that I couldn't get my way into this trade. This was as I was flying, but we had this 4-hour zone on GBPJPY marked up since since like 2016. So this was so cool. But yeah, there was an open buy position here from like November of 2015. So this was like right when I started trading. And there was a buy position opened all the way over here. Like all the way over here. So 8 years, straight up 8 years. And this just tagged it and then dropped from there. So that was just sick, like a little bit above 188. And yeah, it's just so cool to see how the market will literally go 8 years. 8 years, yeah, 8 years for it to play out like that. And I don't remember, let's see how low I can go on the structure. But Let me see if I can go to the 4 hour. Yeah, it's perfect. So yeah, I mean, we see price clear these highs, drop, leave an imbalance, chop up, and then keep going. So I did have an entry that I liked, like right over here. For that sell on GBPJPY. This is literally from November 2015. And I don't think it lets me go. Oh yeah, it did. Sweet. And so right here, we had the market drop, chop, and then keep going. So the market cleared the highs, worked its way lower. And this literally, I squeezed out this setup from 2015. I thought it was so cool. You can see how the daily clears the highs here. And then from there, it just drops and the market doesn't really come back for literally 8 years. So it did now, you know, and then, yeah, I mean, it was a nice 360 pip drop. So pretty cool. Unfortunately, just wasn't able to manage it while it was happening, but yeah, it is what it is. GJ though, no setups, nothing clear. And then GBPNZD from, if we had this set up from last week, we were waiting for this for a while. We were looking at GBPNZD and I think EURNZD or something, and which one was going to be the one that holds structure. And GBPNZD was the one that got to our zone last. EURNZD ended up poking above. GBPNZD held on for dear life, and then it ended up dropping 370 pips. So this one did end up playing out for a couple hundred pips. Right now, nothing that I would want to take, but if you did see that, I think we might have gone over this one on a live stream. So yeah, 8-year drawdown. Wow. But yeah, that's what we got going on there. So we'll wrap it up there. I think we dropped EURCAD. We went over gold. We went over EURNZD and GBPCAD. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there. That'll take care of London up and coming London session. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so we'll have some bank holiday, probably some mellow stuff going on right now. So nothing really to do going forward. And then if you guys hop on and watch me trade live, then a New York session on Go Live, then I'll see you guys there. Right now, we do have an active NAS sell. My stop is at break even. Let's see if we can get this to work its way down and get a little bit lower. But as of right now, sitting at like around 1 risk reward, and it's risk free. So we'll go from there. But appreciate y'all. I'm gonna upload this as soon as it's ready to go. So this will be ready for all of you to take advantage for London session here. So appreciate y'all. Good stuff, and have an amazing rest of the day, and grateful for all of you. Peace out, guys.